everyone. Let me know if you're here and you can hear me through my microphone. All right. So I'm going to be talking about what and when to pin for traffic. Now, if you have any questions about Pinterest, please post them in the comments. And if you're here, come say hi, tell me where you are and how everything's good. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you all who want to know about Pinterest. Now, if you have specific questions, pop them in the comments and I'll talk about it. I don't talk a lot about, I don't dive deep into Pinterest marketing tactics because, of course, that I save those tactics for my course students in Ready Set Blog for Traffic. I do have, I think, at least 4 Pinterest strategies that still are very valid for 2020, 2021, and Pinterest and all the algorithm changes, because I do focus on the core principles of Pinterest and what Pinterest seeks from content creators like us. Great. Glad you're here. And it's still unfortunate I cannot see your name. I'm really sad for that. And I don't know why I can't see your name. All right. So if you, like I said, Pinterest questions, pop them in. What I'm going to do, I'm going to first talk about the best times to do your pinning. Your pinning process. Okay. So I'll just go quickly over my pinning process. I do use Tailwind. All right. So Tailwind works in the back end of my Pinterest strategy. So every day I am pinning something and they're all my pins. Okay. I only do third-party pins very strategically. Okay. That's part of my process, but Tailwind only schedules my pins, very rarely third-party pins. And so what I do manually, this is what I do manually. I create fresh pins for the certain topics that will go through what to pin. I create those fresh pins and then I do it at the optimal time for my audience. And I do that, I try to do it once a week, but it turns out to be every couple weeks. I'm going to try and be more consistent. So that's why I want to talk to you about the optimal time and when to pin if you're going to do manual pinning. Okay, you don't need to do Tailwind, although Tailwind does help for me, and it doesn't help for all bloggers, but it does help for me. But you can grow and get Pinterest traffic with the manual pinning strategy too. So yesterday, Thursday, at around, I'd say between 8 and 9:30, I decided to create some pins in Canva. Okay, so what I did first was I looked at my live traffic. So what to pin, I want you to look, if you can, at your Google Analytics and look at what people are viewing right now. So if you can see, this is for Smart Mom Ideas. This is what's live right now. So this new baby checklist, people go to it all day. Like I see this all day. And then my IVF journey is lately have been popular. So these are pretty much the top 3, the IVF and this new baby checklist. All right. So I'll look at my live, what people are doing right now, and then I will make fresh pins of those URLs of what people are already going to at this moment. All right. And so when that happens, I get people coming. You can see here, this was yesterday. I created a pin of this labor first time. I kid you not, within less than 30 seconds, I had 20 people coming to that. As soon as I published the pin at that time, 22 people came, right? And I was like, oh my gosh. And I watched them and they stayed and they read the post for a couple minutes and then they petered off. And so I'm like, wow, I'm going to create another pin. So I went and created another pin and boom, same thing. I created another pin from another post that people were going to, and boom, the people came. I was like, wow. Okay. So I usually create my pins personally. I usually create my pins during the day, like right before lunchtime. I don't do them at nighttime because I'm doing other things. I'm wrapping things up. So I do know from experience and what I've known for Pinterest marketing is that the best times to pin or to publish your pins is in the evening and at the end of the week. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and maybe Sunday, this time between 8 and 10, I want you to create fresh pins of the live, what people are going to live right now, like your live traffic. Okay. Someone asks Sarah, hey, Sarah, glad you can make it. My name is Sarah, and can I drive traffic to my blog even as a new blogger and Pinterest user? I'm not super familiar with Pinterest. Yes, you can. I do want you to realize that it will probably take you a good 30 days to get any kind of traction, especially, and then a bit longer if you're not going to be using Tailwind as a back end way to show Pinterest that you're consistently pinning every single day. Pinterest wants you to pin every day. They really do. They want something, they want you being on that platform or being consistent. So if you can manually pin 5 times a day every day, that's better than trying to pin 20 times a day. And then the next day you pin 15, and then the next time you can only do 5, and the next time you don't do anything, and then you skip 3 days and then you go back to 15, right? You don't want to do that. You want to be consistent. And if that's only 5 times a day manually, then do it 5 times a day consistently. But it's just going to take you longer to grow. That's all. I wanted to show you, so this is my Smart Mom Ideas profile. These are the 3 pins. So I created the first 3 pins right there. The 28 reasons why you're not getting pregnant, 10 life-saving tips for when you go into labor for the first time, and 6 best online birthing classes. The 6 best online birthing classes I personally did for the what to pin category, meaning I only create pins that are affiliate based or to grow my email list. I don't have an email list for Smart Mom Ideas, so I only have affiliate posts. And so I do try to create fresh pins of my affiliate posts to get them in there. And since I was thinking, wow, I got tons of traffic for my you're not pregnant pin and going into labor pin, I'm going to ride on that traffic and see if I can get them to this pin. And I did. I got maybe less than 10 people right away, but at least I got some people, right? Hopefully for some conversions. So my suggestion is find a nice time in the evening while you're watching TV, and you can have your laptop near you or whatever, and create a couple pins. But I wanted to actually, while I'm talking to you, maybe I can create a pin right now and see if it still holds true for my traffic. And I'll answer some questions. Someone asks, my times vary. I see some traffic though at night. I rarely see people on live. My traffic is still low. Yeah. So if your Google Analytics isn't showing you a lot of people on your site, then you can't really rely on the live traffic to create the pins. But you can go to Google Analytics and just see the most viewed posts that you have, and then just create different pins of that. So I'm just in Canva right now, and I'm just going to quickly make a pin of the top posts that people are at that new baby checklist. And let's just see what happens. 33 things to do once you find out you're pregnant, plus the first trimester checklist. Okay, so that's what this post is about. It's right here. So I'm going to create, this is my original pin. I do use a personal picture of me here and then some stock photos for my pins. So I do believe that if you invest in stock photos, that can help you as well to gain more views on your pins, and for Pinterest to ensure that your pins are not dupes of other pins. Now, it's okay to use the same image, free stock images, but Pinterest can get confused that it's the same pin as other pins kind of thing if you have the same photo kind of thing. But those are all like stock photos right there. All right, so I'm just going to go to Canva and I'm going to find a photo. I have the paid version of Canva so I can use their stock photos, and then I'm gonna just find a photo. I can reuse photos already that I have, but I'm just going to. So I'm thinking for the photo, I want to include like maybe the husband in this photo. Oh, here, I found a good one right here. Okay, so I'm gonna use this one for my new pin. All right, so when we create, for me, like for my audience, I do want to show people, especially for like the pregnancy, breastfeeding, motherhood. I think it's a good idea to show actual faces. Now for my twins mommy profile, I don't show many faces. I show like desks. The only time I do show faces is like work at home stuff. So I'll do like a work at home mom on the laptop with her baby kind of thing, but I don't normally do it. All right, so this is 33 things. So this post is popular because it's a long list post. So for the what to pin, if you can phrase your content as lists. So say you have a how to avoid breastfeeding problems in your first month. Excuse me, that's your post. But in the post, you list like 15 things. They may not be numbered, but they're like 15 different things to avoid so that you don't get breastfeeding problems or whatever in your first month. Then in your pin, put that 15 ways to avoid breastfeeding challenges or something. Like frame your pins as a list, because those will get saved much greater than a how-to post or a how-to title kind of thing. Okay, so the fact that this is 33 ways, I have in the past only made like get free new baby checklist, and that didn't resonate. They liked numbers. Like my pinners seem to enjoy numbers. So 33 things to do. So I have to play around with this template that I have here. 33 things to do when there's a question here. Where do you get your free pictures to use for pinning if you can't afford Canva Pro? I do have a post on Twins Mommy for free stock photos. If you go to twinsmommy.com, there are places you can get free stock photos. You can go to Pixabay as well, Pixels, Pexels, to get free stock photos. 33 things to do when you find out pregnant. Now, pregnant is a word I want to emphasize, so I'm going to try and make this larger. 33 things to do when you find out you're pregnant. And I'm just going to add for emphasis for the first time. All right, and then I can also put in this pin, since it's this checklist thing. Let's see if maybe we can add some more curiosity. So when you start creating your pins and you're going to do like a list post, add a curiosity factor, add an extra thing like you won't believe number 6 or something like that. Or number 6 saved me thousands of dollars before I had my baby. Like write a little bit of a capture, and that could also help with driving clicks. Free baby checklist. So I'll just do that. I could do it in a fancy font, but let's just be practical here and do this quickly. All right, so that's good. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to adjust the color. I'm going to brighten it. I always like bright, warm colors, and I have my URL. Great. So I'm going to download this. The colors are okay. I seem to be this blue and red, pink I've been doing lately, and that seems to be working. So I'm just going to stick with that. Download page 2. All right, so let's upload that. Right now, there's one person at the new baby checklist. So let's see if we can get some more people to that post with this new pin. All right, I'm going to upload it. Sorry, you guys, hold on. And you might be wondering about like these story pins. I personally am not going to do story pins. I don't think I would, unless it becomes like this really big thing. So like, with Instagram Reels became really huge, in like August or something. And like everyone is doing Reels now. And like everyone is on that train because it's actually bringing views and engagement to your profile. Then yeah, if I find that like story pins are taking off and everyone's using story pins and they're getting lots of traffic, then yeah, of course I'm going to invest in that. But at this moment, I'm not, just because I don't want to, again, change my strategy. I know Pinterest might look at like, oh, you're doing story pins now, so I'm only going to drive views to your story pins and only show you story pins on your profile because you're into story pins, and I'm really not right now. So I'm not going to play around with those. So you can change the title when you add. Are you watching me? You're not watching me. You can change the title in your pin when you upload a pin to Pinterest. I'm using Pinterest to upload a pin. Okay, right up here under create, you can create a pin. And so you can change this title right here to something else, but I'm not right now. Whenever I do a manual pin, I come up with this description right off the bat of my head, like right as I'm doing this. You don't have to. I mean, it doesn't take me much time. Learn the first things you need to do when you find out you're pregnant for the first time. And then I'll just put like a hashtag and save it. All right, so now I have pregnancy my pregnancy, which I didn't spell right. Pregnancy. Okay. Okay. So now it's published. Okay. So I would do this for 2 to 3 other pins and then call it a night. Like that would be it. Like that's all I would do. And I would check my live feed and see if people came to that post and I know like, okay, this is a good time, I'm going to create more pins then. But if like people are just sort of, they're not resonating, I'm still getting the same amount of people coming to that post, then I might just then veer off and just do my affiliate based pins and just do something different to see if that would spark some engagement. Okay, someone asked for descriptions. Should you add more personal, here's what worked for me, or more, here's how to help you? I struggle with this sometimes. You can. A lot of my posts aren't that personal, except my IVF post. So what I usually do is I would frame it for the person, TTC, trying to get pregnant, but having a hard time. I had the same issue when I was trying to get pregnant and find out what I did to get pregnant with twins. Like, if it was a personal post, then that's what I would do. But for all my other posts, they're not personal stories of mine. So I don't add that. I just write for that audience person. If that works for you though, A/B test it and try both. And same thing in your pin. If you have a strategy of what worked for you, then use that. How I got pregnant with twins. Yeah, that resonates, that works. But that's the beauty of Pinterest, is that you can try these different tactics to see what is working and what is not. I, for a while, was doing more like graphic pins. So I would do all pink in the background and then do like a little comical vector art of a woman graphics, like a graphic, and then have that and see if that resonated. And that didn't as much, but I tried that to see if it would work, kind of thing. When you're looking at your time to pin, also play around with that. The evenings, people are on Pinterest. They're on Instagram and they're on Pinterest. That's a good time to, either batch your content for Instagram, batch your pins for Pinterest, and then you can, manually pin them out on your feed there. And then the next day you can do the same, or you can do that every 3 days, kind of thing, as long as you're consistent on that. All right. So my live is slow right now. There's 2 people here. But that's what I do. I sort of just resonate and see, did that take off? Like, are people going to go to that? And then if they do, then I'll create more pins. All right. And so I just wanted to share that with you to see if that can help you with your Pinterest traffic. I know for me, I try new things. So right now, it's my top post right now that people are looking at. So you can see, so that new pin is bringing some views, and it's I guess it's number 1, like it's like immediate kind of thing. So then I see like beachy farmhouse, labor for the first time, these ones here, my IVF one. If I see it again, then I will make a new IVF pin of that. I can see the people that are like resonating with what pins they're getting on their feeds, and that can help me decide what to pin. If I'm not seeing that, then I'll just go to my Pinterest analytics, and then see what is popular there and then create new pins of that. All right. You might be thinking, well, shouldn't you create pins of the ones that aren't resonating? Not necessarily. You want to keep those pins that are resonating. You want to keep them circulating still. So keep creating the content and the pins for those popular ones. All right. Bringing new pins when you have a new blog post, that's when you bring in new pins and you watch that pin to see if you can make it and ramp up the traffic for that. All right. But old pins that you've had, old posts that never took off, it's going to be hard to take off. You can try again. That's happened to me. I had a post about the sites that pay moms $100 per post. When I first published that on Pinterest, I don't know, in 2017, 2016, it did well, but then I totally forgot about it for years. And then one day I decided to make a new pin for that, and it drove tons of people to Twins Mommy. So you can try that with older pins that never really resonate or that were popular back in the day. Bring them back to life. Is there a social media schedule I could use to publish for Pinterest and Instagram both? Yeah, Tailwind does both Instagram and Pinterest. So you can see if that works for you. I don't know if like Buffer or other programs do both Instagram and Pinterest, but do know that like for most schedules with Instagram, I think it's just going to alert you to go and post on Instagram. I think the only tool that doesn't do that, that actually posts your post, I think there's a new one I heard about, but I don't remember the name. But the one that I was using is called Grum. And that one you can use your laptop, but it'll post to your Pinterest or your Instagram profile. But then you're using two different schedulers, right? So Tailwind would do both. All right, so that's it. If you guys have any more questions, just let me know. But I wanted to share, like I said, hot times in the evenings. Be consistent, create fresh pins for the popular content and for affiliate-based posts, and see how that works. If the time doesn't work, try during the midday. Early on with Twins Mommy, it was 12 to 3. I was pinning at that time because my twins were napping. I got lots of engagement and lots of traffic during that time because other moms were doing the same thing. They had their kids napping at that time. So if that works better for you, then do that time frame versus the evening frame. Like whatever works for you kind of thing. All right, you guys. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll hopefully see you next week. Oh, before I go off, I just want to let you know that I am in the Blogger Breakthrough Summit. So I do have the link in the description. Go ahead and get your free ticket. Totally free. There's lots of people that are going to be on. I'm excited to look for to watch Carly's presentation on Pinterest marketing. She has some cool ideas about Pinterest that you should see. I'm doing a speak on ways you can manage your time with blogging, especially if you have lots of other blogs. I have some really good ideas you can use for that. And there's a lot of other topics about SEO, brand building, time management stuff. So get your ticket for that, totally free. All right, you guys. See ya.